Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the new Harley buff from the 4 November 2025 update. And this one is actually a really good quality of life buff for Harley players. It improves his mobility, his combo smoothness, and the reliability of his ultimate. Before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. What do you think about the new Harley after this buff? So let's break it down quickly and accurately. Harley Skill 2 got a huge improvement. The cooldown was reduced from 11 to 8 seconds down to 8 to 6 seconds, which means you can dash way more often. And the new effect is amazing. Returning to the hat no longer cancels your movement speed boost. This means Harley can chase, reposition, and escape with far fewer punishments. His mobility is now smoother, faster, and way more reliable in fights. Now for the ultimate, Skill 3. It also got several strong buffs. First, the projectile is no longer blocked by enemy heroes, so your deadly magic will land more consistently even in crowded team fights. Second, the four-swing animation was reduced from 0.4s to 0.33s, making the ult faster and harder to react to. And the slow effect now applies 40% slow for 1.5 seconds, then decays to 15% after, giving Harley more control when chasing and finishing his target. What does all this mean in real gameplay? Harley just became much harder to escape from, much harder to interrupt, and his whole combo became smoother. His mobility is better, his ult is more reliable, and he can now punish squishy heroes even more consistently. This is a pure mobility and control buff, and honestly, it makes Harley feel way more fluid and confident in both ranked and high-tempo fights. Here, I played him as a mid laner, and in the second game, I tried him as a jungler. But to be honest, as a solo player, I really prefer running him in mid. You just get so much more freedom. Freedom in your targeting, freedom in your rotations, and freedom to instantly move and support any lane that needs help. Mid lane helps Harley shine because you can pressure the map non-stop without being tied down by farming responsibilities. When you use him in a jungle role, especially in higher ranks, the enemy team will almost always try to shut you down early. They'll invade, delay your buffs, and do everything they can to ruin your start. And at that point, everything depends on your public teammates. If they're good, they'll cover your jungle and give you space to farm. But if they're not, well, it becomes a lottery, and playing Harley in a jungle role gets way harder than it should be. But in mid, you're free from all that early game pressure. You control the tempo, you control the rotations, and you get to play your own game without relying heavily on the team. Now, if you're playing trio or squad with teammates you trust, then yeah, going jungle is perfectly fine. That's when Harley in a jungle role really shows his full potential. And here's the build and the emblem setup I used for both jungle and mid lane. And as you can see here, I went with Purify because the enemy had both Atlas and Badong, two heroes that can lock you down instantly. When you're playing mid lane, always check the enemy lineup before the match starts and choose your battle spell wisely. The right spell can save your life, turn a bad situation into a winning fight, and make your rotations way safer. Always adapt to what the enemy brings. Alright, now let's dive into the build. Let's start with Arcane Boots, the core shoe item for almost every aggressive mage in Mobile Legends, and especially for Harley. Arcane Boots get plus 40 movement speed, plus 15 magic power, and, most importantly, plus 10 magic penetration. Harley is a hero built around his burst window, and magic penetration is one of the strongest stats he can use early. When Harley hits someone with Poker Trick or Deadly Magic, the damage is calculated based on the target's magic defense, so these boots let you slip through that defense early in the game. Combined with Harley's fast rotation playstyle, the plus 40 movement speed makes it easier to move between lanes, chase enemies, and escape after dropping your combo. It's simple, but it's exactly what Harley needs early on: mobility, early power, and penetration to help his combo hurt right from level 4. Next up is Genius Wand, one of the most underrated but insanely effective items for Harley, especially in 2025's meta where tanks and fighters have more MR than ever.
Genius Wand gives plus 75 magic power, plus 5% movement speed, and, most importantly, that incredible passive that reduces the enemy's magic defense when you deal damage. Harley hits multiple times with his first skill, those fast card hits. Each card triggers Genius Wand's passive, meaning that in less than a second, Harley can strip a huge chunk of magic defense off the target. This turns your full combo into a guaranteed melt, especially against fighters, junglers, or enemy mages who build early magic resistance. It's also perfect for mid lane Harley because it makes your pokes much more dangerous. As soon as you land the first skill, the target is softened up for your next burst. The movement speed also helps Harley reposition and dodge skill shots, which is crucial for staying alive.
Now let's move to Glowing Wand, one of the best HP-based damage items for Harley. This item brings plus 75 magic power, plus 400 HP, and plus 5% movement speed, 3 stats that Harley loves. But the real strength is the Scorch passive. Whenever Harley deals magic damage, Glowing Wand burns the target for 3 seconds, dealing damage equal to a percentage of their max HP. That's huge because Harley hits fast and consistently throughout his combo. His first skill sprays multiple hits, his ultimate marks them, and even his basic attack combined with the hat return can apply pressure. All of these keep reactivating Glowing Wand's burn, especially on tanks or bruisers who try to survive Harley's burst. And then there's the Life Bane effect. When Harley hits someone with any magic damage, their shield and HP regen are reduced to 60% for 3 seconds. This is massive against heroes like Esmeralda, Uranus, Yujin-kun, Alice, and any fighter or jungler who relies on regen or shields. Harley becomes not just a burst mage, but also an anti-sustain threat. It makes dueling opponents in lane a lot easier. Concentrated Energy gives Harley plus 70 magic power and plus 400 HP, but the real strength comes from its new passive. You get 20% Hybrid Lifesteal, meaning every bit of magic damage you deal heals you instantly. And with Harley's rapid card hits, this lifesteal adds up fast. Then you have the Recharge passive. Every time you deal magic damage, you gain plus 5 magic power, stacking up to 6 times. You can only get 1 stack every 0.4 seconds, but because Harley hits so quickly, you reach max stacks easily. And once you hit full stacks, you get a 12% magic damage boost for 5 seconds, turning your next combo into a guaranteed burst window. This item isn't just sustain anymore, it's a mix of healing, stacking power, and a big damage spike, making Harley stronger the longer he fights and more dangerous with every rotation. And now for the king of mage items, Blood Wings, the ultimate late-game power spike for Harley. This item gives plus 90 magic power and a huge shield based on your magic power. The unique passive Guard grants a shield equal to 800 plus 100% of your total magic power. This is insanely strong because Harley doesn't have any real defensive abilities aside from his hat. But with Blood Wings, he gains a massive shield that regenerates after staying out of combat for a short time. This not only helps him survive dives, CC, and burst, but also allows him to commit deeper into fights without instantly dying. The movement speed boost from the shield also makes Harley zoom around the map, giving him even more mobility to chase or escape. In late-game situations where Harley is normally fragile, Blood Wings becomes a protective barrier that lets him function as a high-damage assassin without being blown up instantly. It's the perfect balance of power and survival. Divine Glaive gives Harley plus 60 magic power, but the real reason this item is insane is the plus 40% magic penetration it comes with. This alone makes Harley slice through most magic defense items like they're nothing. But then you add the Spellbreaker passive and it becomes even better. Every time you hit an enemy, you gain extra magic penetration based on their magic defense, specifically 0.1% for every point of magic defense they have, up to a maximum of 20%. In simple terms, the tankier they are, the harder your damage hits. If the enemy stacks Athena's shield, radiant armor, or oracle, Divine Glaive turns all that defense into basically paper. It lets Harley stay dangerous all the way into late game, even against tanks or bruisers who think they can survive your combo. With this item, they really can't. Harley isn't the type of hero who needs to sit and farm for 10 minutes. He's made to move. Once you hit level 4, you should already be looking around the map,
checking lane states, and deciding where to strike next. That's why timing matters so much on Harley. Your whole identity is built around hitting the enemy during the perfect moment, dropping your combo, and then disappearing before they even understand what happened. It's like being a magician assassin. 1 second they're chilling, and the next second, boom, deadly magic explodes, and they're gone.
And then there's map awareness. Harley becomes 10 times more dangerous when you know exactly what the enemy is doing. If you see the enemy jungler on top lane, rotate bottom. If the enemy mage is alone mid, punish them. If someone is pushing without vision, they're basically offering you a free kill. Harley isn't just about dealing damage, he's about reading the map and punishing mistakes instantly. The better your awareness, the more impact you'll have.
Harley is also one of the best heroes at flipping momentum. Even if your team is behind, all it takes is one good catch from you, one squishy hero deleted, and suddenly your team has a chance to breathe again. His playstyle is all about creating small advantages that snowball into bigger ones. And when you combine that with good decision making, Harley becomes a nightmare for the enemy team.
Positioning is another thing that separates good Harley players from average ones. You can't just run in blindly. Harley needs angles. You need to come from the side, use the fog of war, and make sure you surprise your target. The moment they see you coming from a predictable angle, they'll jump on you instantly because Harley is still a squishy hero. But with good positioning, you can turn every fight in your favor. Blink in, drop your skills, blink out. It's all about playing smart and keeping your distance while still being a constant threat. If you made it all the way to this point, you're honestly a real supporter. Thank you so much for the amazing love and energy. Drop the word mythical in the comments so I know you reached this part. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment which hero you want me to play next. Your support keeps these videos going, and I appreciate every single one of you. See you in the next video.